Hi, good morning. I actually recorded this earlier, but my brain was not braining. Had to go work out. So let's go over NQ really quickly for the day. There's been a lot of sideways movement lately. And I am going to chart this with you, and I'll also chart ES with you. So we're going to clear drawing set, and I'm going to start with my trend lines. Trend line. I'm going to make this green. I'm going to keep that red. I like this as a fib still. Oops. I like this as a fib still. We're bouncing right now, therefore I'm going to make these green. And I'm going to move into the 1 hour. But there's not much data left here from where we are. So I'm just going to come up here to the 1 hour again. I'm going to go to time frame, and then where it says 20 days here, I'm going to move this to 90 days. And we're going to go from there. Reason being, again, is just because there is not much action to look at left if I'm just going 20 days. So I want it to be able to see more of what's going on. So let's look at some key levels. Just nearby where we are, we're in this micro range, so I'm not going to mark, I generally don't mark anything in micro ranges. We already know we're in a range, we already know that's kind of a key zone. Yes, these ranges are fairly large, but it still doesn't, matter to me too much to mark halfway. We know where halfway is. We know that a lot of these will wick halfway. We can see it's probably about the 50% mark of this fib. So I'm not going to mark any of that. Can we see that there's some key action in there? Absolutely. Not going to mark it. Now, looking immediately, the first one that I saw was this wick here. Now, I taught you guys this yesterday, but we can do it again today. If I just click on this wick here and I create a price level there, and then I extend this to the left, we can see that we definitely came up, tested this level, broke through it, treated it like support, and then we're up again. So we're kind of seeing that this has been some support that has turned support again, and then it is currently kind of turning into resistance. So we can kind of see this as support turning into resistance. So I like that as a key level. I don't want to get too crazy because I don't want to overcharge my chart, overcrowd my chart. But that being said, I do also like this wick here. Now I'm not super worried about it. We know that there's a wick here. I am quite aware of that. It's also kind of close to a trend line here. So I won't mark it, but we all know that we have this wick down here. So if we do come down here, we could see a little bit of a bounce, some resistance, a pullback, something of that sort. Okay, now that we've done all that, we're going to go to our 5 minute, and we're going to see if there's any trend lines to draw. I did this earlier, and I really don't like any of these trend lines. This is just super clunky, and then we have already kind of a trend line break to the upside here. If you're looking at this from sort of this standpoint though, it does look like, kind of depending on where you have this. If I have this here, and I won't leave this on my chart, but this is just so we can see where price is currently in relation to the trends. And again, remember these gray boxes are after hour sessions. So I like after hour sessions a lot, but we can see after hours has not been it these last few days. It's been super choppy, pretty dang sideways, so I'm hoping that we're not going to continue trading sideways. Yesterday we traded sideways all day. We've had a lot of sideways movement lately. I don't like trading in a range. I'm a continuation trader. I'm not very good with reversals or anything like that. I'm continuation. I like to be able to stay in my trades for a long period of time. Now if we remove this drawing, and we come up here, you can see we've kind of already broken that trend. Again, this is where these trend lines have been kind of ugly. And, this is a trend line. We can use this as a trend line. I'm going to move to the 15. Let's just see. Let's just see if we can get anything cleaner. It looks a little cleaner. Yeah, it's not so bad. I wonder if, no, Yeah, see, we're just not very clean as far as our trend lines go. I much rather have a trend line so we can see a break to the upside or a break to the downside. It makes things a lot cleaner. Okay, so far that looks like our only trend line that I want to mark. I don't really see anything substantial that I would like, and I really don't have a bias for today at all so far. We have moved to the upside a lot in pre-market, and we're nearing, it is 8:39 right now, so we're nearing that 9 o'clock and that open range, but we still we don't have a ton of substantial data from pre-market or anything like that. We have like maybe a little trend line break here, if we want to call that a trend line break to the upside, but nothing super clear. I'm definitely not going to take anything until probably closer to 10. So just watching at this point, seeing how things are playing out. And super quickly, I will go on the 180-day 4-hour for you guys and chart ES. Okay, for ES, I only have one key level that I see off the bat that I want to mark. I've already marked it here when I was on the 20-day 1 hour. I did zoom out so that I could see a little bit more information. That being said, yes, this level is overall a key level. We've got a ton of touches here, a lot of movement around here. So I like this as a key level. We're going to keep it. There's really nowhere else I want to slap any key levels, just specifically because we're in this micro range here. We are so close to the fibs below. So I'm not super worried about it. One thing I am going to do just to see, and again, I'm not going to leave this fib on my chart. I'm just kind of trying to explore to see where we are in relation to price action. So as I'm putting this fib here, again, I'm not going to leave this here, but right now I'll make it green just so you guys can see it well. Look at how this fib matches up with this price level that we just marked. This is kind of double trouble. This is making sure that we're looking at these places with multiple confluence and saying like, oh dang, we could potentially go there. So that makes me a little more long biased. Since we found this, let's finish charting, and then I'm gonna head back to NQ, just make sure that I didn't miss anything, and then okay, these trend lines are a lot cleaner than NQ. So we can see we've had a rejection, 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 and now it looks like we have busted through just within the last hour or so. So that's nice. That, again, makes me a little bit more long bias, kind of coming towards this level here. Now we're just going to back all the way back up and look at that 180-day 4-hour again on NQ. And because I marked that fib on ES, I just want to make sure that we don't have something similar on NQ. A lot of times this can't happen, and if we have those multiple points of confluence, it just makes our lives easier. Okay, so I'm going to start my fib from here, and now I'm going to go down and look at where we land. Almost perfectly on another fib. Almost perfectly. So we're literally this 50% green, 50% fib that we have originally marked from our larger downtrend here. This is where the green fibs come from. We have multiple points in here. I'll just make this one purple so you can see. We have a match. Okay, so again, that makes us a little more long bias since we do have multiple points of confluence up here. Not making any, just trading price action and watching price action develop after the open. So I'm going to remove that, and I'm also going to remove it off the ES chart, and we'll go from there. Hi, it's 11:31. I wanted to hop here quickly. I've already done my market analysis and filmed all of that, but I'm not going to trade today. I am looking at this chart and I absolutely hate it. I think that there has been very, very little movement lately. Of course, we're kind of on this uptrend here. But that being said, we have so much sideways movement through so far today, and last night, and really yesterday too, so whipsaw. So I'm not liking that we don't have very, very clear direction. I trade when there is clear direction. Now, there's some people who are amazing scalpers. Brittany's an amazing scalper. Alex is a really good scalper. And I like those bigger moves. I like when the market has a very, very clear direction. Therefore, I am not going to trade today. There's no clear direction. Tomorrow we have CPI. On Friday we have PPI. We have a lot going on that is going to allow us to have a lot more volatility in the markets, hopefully a little bit more direction, a little bit more movement after those things kind of hit. And then hopefully there will be better setups. I am not the kind of trader who needs to trade every day. I will only trade if my market analysis proves that it could be a day for a large move. It's not every day, and I'm totally okay with that. I just wanted to take this as an opportunity to still post this, still post my market analysis, but essentially show you how I make a decision in the first place. And the decision right now is that I'm absolutely not going to trade because I don't like price action. Now, the only thing that I want to add to this chart or bring up that I'm seeing as I'm looking at this is that we do have this trend forming here. And we will see tomorrow or after hours how this might play out. I don't think I'll trade after hours today just because we're so choppy today. I don't think we're going to see the kind of direction that I want after hours. I will probably look after hours on Wednesday night and Thursday night into Friday. So this is what I'm seeing right now. Not going to take a trade. I just wanted to share this with you guys. Hopefully the market analysis and that kind of thing is helpful. If you guys have any questions, of course, post in study group and I'd be happy to help.